Hi, my name is Jen. I'm from the Deer Run Bed and Breakfast on Big Pine Key in Florida. Welcome to day number 17 of Vegan Month of Food 2017. You can follow us on our Facebook page, our blog, happyvegans.blogspot.com, and our YouTube channel, Jen Day. I am videoing for you in my little cave with my little prison wall behind me because when I did go outside earlier today to shoot a video for you, the bugs were so bad I was chased in. So bug spray doesn't matter. Apparently I just have to like mummify myself when I go outside, and that didn't work out either, I guess. Anyway, um, I'm going to talk to you at the end of this video about some food, and it's worth sticking around for, so do that. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about our animals. We've been getting a lot of inquiries and messages about how are our animals doing, and I'm not talking about the wildlife. I'm talking about the animals that share our lives and their lives. We all live together here at Deer Run. So as you know, before the storm, we took in a foster from the shelter. They did the empty the shelters, and it's a good thing that they did because, well, it was pretty bad in the shelters. So we adopted Katniss, and I put some pictures up on the Facebook page. We didn't adopt her; we fostered her, and we fostered her through the storm, through with the shelters. I mean, she went everywhere with us. And the good news is she has her forever home, and I'm so happy. She's been adopted by two wonderful people, and they are in love with her. And Katniss has a new name. They're calling her Odie. They love her. And it's a really big win because Odie had some special needs. As you know, she had an injury and she had some health issues and things like that. So I'm just so happy that everything really is working out. And I have visited her twice, and I've spoken to her people 3 or 4 times so far. So it's going very well. Also, right before we left, I took two my friend's two children had fish, and they were evacuating, and they were having a problem with the fish as far as evacuation. So we took in the fish temporarily, and yes, they came to us with us at the shelter and everything, and we had them, and they've been reunited with their people, and the kids are really happy to see their friends again, and so everything went well there. Now, as far as our little animals here go, the cats are very confused. Diesel seems to be having the most trouble of them all. She's also the youngest, and she always, you know, talks a good talk, but her walk is very weak. You know what I mean? So she's not as tough as she wants you to think she is. The storm took away her favorite thing, which was that big giant tower, and she used to love to sit on top of there and look out the window, and that's probably floating in the Florida Straits right about now, thanks to Irma. And the big news for Diesel was that she played for the first time yesterday, and that was wonderful to see. So it's been 5 weeks, and she just has been really distressed. I think the next one that's having the most difficulty is Lemon, and he had to go to the vet today. He's picked up a little infection, and the doctors told me it's very common, unfortunately, right now. They're seeing a lot of infections with all the stuff, the junk and everything down here. So even though our animals don't go outside, they're still prone to infection because there's just so much stuff coming in on our shoes and things like that. And so who knows? But he's getting treated for that, and he's having a little problem, so we're waiting on some blood work. But they're all very confused. They're not acting like themselves. Also, you know, they used to be more separate. We do have some behavior issues. They don't get along, and the way things are set up for our family here right now, we're all together. So that's a huge stressor on them all. And also, let's not forget that, you know, Princess crossed the bridge just a few weeks before the storm, and we had barely even begun to adjust to that when Irma came through. So there's a lot of very profound changes that have gone on in their world and in our world since the storm. The champion of them all is Angel. She has been amazing through this whole thing. I mean, every day is a miracle with her. She is so happy, you know, So long as Daddy's around, everything is great in her world. And Angel's aviary also was taken by the storm. That's also probably somewhere at the bottom of the sea or the Florida Straits. But a very nice person, Sherry, hello Sherry, donated to us an aviary for her. And she's living in that temporarily. Like a lot of the residents down here are in temporary housing. So until we get Angel her big aviary rebuilt, she's doing just so great. She's very well adjusted, and I think that she just is very secure in her love with her people. So we're happy for that success story at least. So that's how the animals are doing down here. And we'll all get through, everything will be okay. And if anybody has any suggestions for us, let us know. We do have Rescue Remedy, and Lemon gets a regular dose of that. And when the others seem to really act up, we give them Rescue Remedy. But Lemon's the only one who's really on it regularly because he's a tough case. He's my boy. Now, talking about food, the prompt today was give you a recipe for 4 ingredients or less. Well, I can name that in 3. And I made these little, can you see that? These are little fudge cups. I made salted ones. And it's a recipe. I'll see if I can get you the link, but you'll need a cup of chocolate, vegan chocolate, make sure it's vegan, a 1/4 cup of full-fat coconut milk, and a little more than, it's like a 1/2 tablespoon and a teaspoon of coconut oil. You heat the coconut oil and the milk until it boils. I didn't do that. I just warmed it in the sun, and I melted the chocolate in the sun, and then I mixed it all together. But what you're supposed to do is boil the stuff, pour it over the chocolate, melt it. It's kind of like a ganache, and then you put it in little muffin cups. And the recipe had date caramel or something, but I don't have that right now. It's the ability to make these things. So I sprinkled a little sea salt on top of it. You could crush some nuts on top of it. But for your information, for anybody who is really wanting to be, you're exploring vegan, or if you're a long-term vegan and you just don't have time to cook, the Vegan 8, that's the vegan and then the number 8.com, and she's also on Facebook, is the most amazing, wonderful site ever. The concept is all vegan recipes, all 8 ingredients or less. And she is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, food recipe sites for simplicity. Her 4-ingredient ice creams, she's got 4-ingredient chocolate, I think, and 5-ingredient peanut butter ice cream is the best you'll ever taste, and it's made with a sweet potato base. So why don't you check her out? But I'll write the recipe on the blog because 3 ingredients are so hard to remember, right? But these are worth making. You just put them in a little cup, and even the other happy vegan, he's eaten 3 of them so far. It's like a fudge. It's a 3-ingredient fudge, but it's more like a ganache. You're supposed to put it in the freezer when you're done, but we don't have a freezer, so I put it in the fridge, and it's a little soft, but it's good enough. So kind of a follow-up to yesterday's with the chocolate thing. We need more chocolate in our lives. Yeah. So I brought more chocolate into our lives. Okay, see you tomorrow.